All right, everybody, this is the fighter and the kid. I got Brendan Tiny Head, Big Brown Schaub, who loves a double leg. He's got shoulders for days and a nub willy. And then there's Brian, the kid Callan. The kid just doesn't seem to age. He's got tight-fitting skin, and he's got wit for days, not to mention the fact that he's a hell of a supple athlete. You should have seen me playing tennis the other day, dude.
I hate how you play tennis.
Like a D1
it drives me
tennis.
nuts. We were supposed to meet for lunch. He comes
I'm
first
20
of all,
minutes late.
He's 20 minutes late.
I took a tennis lesson. I knew I couldn't tell you.
He meets me off Abbott Kinney, right? He meets me off Abbott Kinney in Venice. He's 20 minutes late. He has American top team shirt on, some busted sweats and sandals. I go, why are you all sweaty? He goes, I could tell you don't want to tell me.
I didn't want to tell you.
I was playing tennis.
I couldn't tell you. I
said, damn it, man. Damn it.
I couldn't be late to lunch because I was taking a tennis lesson.
Why don't you get your ass to boxing, Burn, and say, I can do some boxing?
Dude, I want to throw my hands. I want to throw my hands.
Why don't you learn some real jiu-jitsu and go down to the Gracie Academy?
I need to do that too. I just need.
You don't do either. You play tennis.
I know.
All the time.
I'm an aristocrat, dude.
It's hard for me to be your friend right now.
I want to wear a bandana too. I wish I had the hair. I wish I had the kind of hair where I had
Andre
keep
Agassi
hair,
style?
Yeah. Keep hair out of my eyes.
For sure.
Agassi actually went bald, but
your head's
more
you're a little thin for that. I
more
feel
like Nadal. What do you mean I'm thin? I'm built exactly. What are you talking about? Oh, my hair?
Yeah, your hair's a little thin.
Yeah, I do that on purpose. Otherwise, I have to age myself. Otherwise,
now, would you consider Propecia or Rogaine?
Taking it. Took Propecia for a long time, and not only
it looks like it fell on your face.
I'll make
your
this
hair
a matter
is
of,
shit. Your face and your chest hair.
Yeah,
looks like the Rogaine fell everywhere.
I can grow this beard in 2 hours. I take a poo and push really hard, and I just
bam.
grow. Yeah, I'm actually going to dye my beard here because
a little too much salt.
No, I don't mind the salt. The problem is I'm getting salt here, so it looks spotty. I saw myself on TMZ. I'm all spotted up. I look like I got.
I didn't see you on TMZ.
I look like I have somebody threw bleach in my face.
Wait, you were hosting TMZ, right? Or were we saying that they caught you out coming out of the club or something?
Yeah. Well, I'm a comic. I don't know if you know that. No, but they do. They
did you host or they came up to you?
No, I was on Abbott Kinney and they asked me some questions. This was not when I hosted.
You went to Abbott Kinney without me? You son of a bitch. And I got to find out from TMZ.
It's the greatest street of all time.
All time.
We went to Ocean Avenue to eat, and Brendan's like, I'm never coming to this place. Why did we leave the neighborhood? You are outraged.
It's like my chairs, man. Abbott Kinney. Anywhere along there.
We have, when is Daniel Cormier, my
oh my
guy
God.
who's nuts I'm always on.
Yeah. I
can't wait.
Oh my God. If anyone's listened to the Firing Kid before, Brian Callen will not shut up about Daniel Cormier. I like him too. He's amazing. Fantastic fighter. Olympian. Yeah. Amazing fighter.
He's
however,
two-time Olympian.
However,
you gotta get that right.
There's something wrong with you.
Olympian,
there's something wrong with you. You don't shut up about this guy.
Well, he's a very powerful.
I thought I was your favorite.
No, you are.
I have a problem right now. I have a problem. My dad's favorite is Lyoto Machida, and your favorite is DC.
Well, no,
that's an issue.
No, they asked Bruce Buffer yesterday asked me who my favorite fighter was on his podcast. I was like Nick Diaz and Anderson Silva. I just like Nick's.
You didn't say my name.
I was going to, but I just felt that was a little too close to home. I was already
too close to home.
I was singing your praises the whole time. Would have sounded like we were having an affair.
This interview.
I didn't want to get criticized for being all over your nuts. Daniel Cormier.
Hey, what's up?
Brian Callen here, one of your biggest fans, and I get a lot of crap from Brendan Schaub for it too.
DC, what's up, man? It's Schaub.
What's up, Brendan? How you guys doing?
Doing great, man. So when they told me you were going to be a guest on today, one, thanks for coming on, but two, this guy here, Brian Callen, does not shut up about you. He loves you, man.
I think you are just a phenomenal fighter, and you just keep getting better. And I can't wait to talk to you and pick your brain.
Well, here's your opportunity, my man.
How you doing, Daniel? Thank you for being on The Fighter and the Kid.
I feel like this is Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Where are you right now? Where are you at right now?
Hey, I'm just actually getting out of the gym. I'm putting my shoes on and stuff right now. How long before we're on?
You're on right now. It's even better. You want to say?
Shit! My bad.
You're good.
My bad, boys.
We keep it real.
I didn't realize
we
started.
Dude, we keep it raw. We keep it real. All right. How is your training going, man? How's your training going?
It's going good, man. I think I had some of my best sparring the day of the training camp. You know, it's been tough because it's been long. You know, and at the end of these training camps, you start to not feel yourself. You're tired and exhausted, and I think today was one of my better days, man. So very positive day today.
Well, you are a guy who has done so well at heavyweight. I believe your training partner is a guy named Cain Velasquez. Is that correct?
Yeah, he's pretty good too.
Yeah, it's not a bad training, not a bad guy to deal with every day. But I watch you. One of the things that I love watching with you is I know you're a 2-time Olympian. You're a Greco Olympian, correct?
Freestyle.
Yeah, freestyle. I'm sorry, but okay. So but when I was watching you control Mirror, it was really interesting to me because I couldn't see what you were doing. You were doing a lot of Greco stuff, but it was so amazing how you controlled that big man and didn't let him do a thing. And I know it was in your hips and everything else, and the stuff that you can't really you have to do for so long to have a feel like that. But that's definitely something that is in your wheelhouse, and obviously something you go to. You didn't want to go to the ground with Mir, and my question is, how is your ground game? Are you working on your jiu-jitsu?
Oh yeah, man, I've been that's one of the things that I've worked on probably most in this training camp because of the fight with Frank. I wasn't completely comfortable with fighting him on the ground, so it limited me. Like my biggest advantage on everybody is going to be my wrestling, and to not be able to secure takedowns because I don't want to grapple with the guy, it really does limit me. And I don't want to put myself in that situation anymore. So I've been working really hard in my grappling. Kane's a good grappler. He's a brown belt, and we've been having this guy in Marcus Buchecha, who's the number 1 heavyweight in the world right now.
He's amazing.
He's been in here on 3 different occasions for a week, and then I was down in L.A. doing TV and work with him again when I was down there. So after grappling him as much as I have, I'm confident that I can grapple with just about anybody now.
Well, and here's my question. You tend to be shorter than a lot of these heavyweights, but one of the things I noticed, it seems to me that your style, and you're using a lot of Greco, it feels like your style actually favors a shorter man in comparison to a taller man. You were shorter than Frank and those guys, and yet it seems that your style somehow is favorable to that.
Yeah, I'm trying to kind of use my my athleticism to go in and out quick, so you don't necessarily have to have the reach if that's the type of game plan that I'm trying to employ. I'm trying to get in on these guys, and once I'm there, once I'm close, my height actually works to my advantage because now a longer guy, it's harder for him to fight on the inside as opposed to me. When I'm on the inside, I'm right in my comfort zone.
Yeah, you're a problem.
Short.
You're a problem.
DC, who's taller, you or Roy Nelson?
I think Roy Nelson might be a little bit taller than I am, which is going to be the first time that he's ever been taller than someone in the cage.
For sure.
But you know what? We were pretty similar in height. I saw him once at a UFC in Las Vegas, and we were pretty close in height. So if he is taller, it's not very much at all. Maybe a half inch or something.
So you're comfortable taking Roy down in this fight? You feel comfortable rolling with Buchecha, Kane? You're cool to go to the ground with him?
Yeah, man, I'm not going to limit myself anymore.
For sure. Good for you.
That was the one thing that I look back on whenever I got out of that fight was like, man, I really did screw myself by not committing to jiu-jitsu. I always had the biggest issue I had with jiu-jitsu was that when I was a kid, I went to a whole bunch of wrestling clinics. That was kind of the thing to get better. Go to Oklahoma, go to California, go here, go there, and I did. And by doing that, I was always sitting in a circle learning.
For sure.
And then it felt like I was having to do that all over again in jiu-jitsu. And I wasn't okay with it, man. I really did shy away from it. But then I got a jiu-jitsu coach who I really could relate to, Leandro Vera. He's a guy that I like. I like him personally.
Do you find it to be, like him as a Daniel? Do you? I'm sorry to interrupt. Do you find jiu-jitsu though to be a very alien thing for you, or to fight from your back as being a wrestler as long as you have? Do you feel like you're going back to the drawing board, or do you think are you able to make sizable jumps? I'd imagine a guy like you has such mat sense and understanding of how to control somebody's hips, etc., and their head. I would imagine that you're picking up on this stuff very quickly. Are you hanging with black belts in jiu-jitsu right now?
Now I've gotten better. Before I was almost just anti-grappling. I wasn't actually grappling. Right. So I wouldn't get submitted, but I wasn't necessarily learning. So what I do now is I actually get in there and I try and grapple. And even if I do get submitted, it's okay because I'm improving so much by actually staying on the ground with Buchecha. Most times, first time he came, I was just intent on not getting submitted.
Yeah, that's the only way you're going to learn. That's the only way you're going to learn. You got to let yourself get submitted.
I'm punching him. I'm hitting him. I'm trying to just compete against him. When in reality, I should have just been
grappling with him, and him submitting me is no big deal. You know, that's just making me better.
No egos.
Here's the thing I'm looking forward to. You know, I think I've been saying that if John Jones tries to come up to heavyweight, he's going to have his hands full. But because I don't think he's good, it's just going to be a very different game. You are thinking about going down to 205. My first question to you is, how difficult is it going to be to suck weight and get down there? I don't know what you walk around in. I imagine you walk at 240, and you're going to suck down.
I used to.
Okay.
Not anymore, actually.
And so
not anymore.
Are you going to have?
I used to, but
can you suck to 205?
Yes. Now I'm confident that I can make that weight. Before I wasn't so sure.
Yeah.
Now I'm confident. At the weight that I am now, I'm confident that I can get to 205. You know, this will be my last heavyweight fight. You know, it's going to be 205, win or lose.
Well, you know, and that brings me to Mr. John Jones, who was very clear about the fact that you don't even belong in the same cage as he. You have 4 more fights to go through before he can actually before you're even allowed to get into the cage with him. I know a lot of that's hype, and you guys talk, but the fact of the matter is, John's going to have a tough time if he clamps onto you, but your challenge is to solve that distance that he has over you. What are you doing? Hitting a bell? You hitting a bell over there? Wait, are you on a train right now? I just hear wind, and he's hanging on top of a train, I think.
Did you buy a rocket launcher with your wind bonus?
It's my car. I got in the car, so it's my seatbelt thing. And I've got an old car, man. I've been having the same car since 2003. I'm driving my same old.
These fighters need to be paid. Dana White, pay these fighters, man.
I have enough money. I just don't want to spend it.
Good, not on a depreciating asset. That's right. But I'm sorry. So obviously, Daniel, you've heard what John Jones has said. I'm sure it builds a fire under your ass. But I mean, talk a little bit about how you're going to solve that distance.
How do you beat John Jones, DC? How do you beat him?
Well, I mean, I don't know for sure because nobody's done it. You know, yeah, sure he has a loss on his record, but he didn't lose that fight.
Gustafsson gave him a hell of a go.
Gustafsson did give him a hell of a go, and I think that's why him moving to heavyweight probably wouldn't be the smartest thing because those takedowns will be a lot harder. And when he has to just stand, you know, he's not the best stand-up fighter, but you know what, man? He showed a lot of grit to get that win and win, but I don't necessarily know. I mean, that's something that me and my team would have to try and figure out if we ever got that fight. But if you listen to him, you know, I'm really far away from it.
I understand.
Well, so with Roy Nelson, I saw an interview where you want Roy to cut that gnarly-ass beard off. You're saying that's a disadvantage.
I want it off, Brendan.
Can you think that'll happen?
Why? Are you afraid he keeps bees in his beard, or what's up? Is it sticky? Is it a hygiene thing?
Brendan, is it smelly?
Yeah, it's not good. It is no bueno. I'm with DC on this one, man. I'm with DC on this one. This is the thing.
You know, Brendan and I, you know, we enjoy nice clothes. We like to get dressed up and get real clean and
keep it classy.
You know, look good and try to keep it classy. You know, and you know, some guys don't necessarily want a 5-inch beard rubbing against their face whenever you're full of sweat.
I'm with you on this.
I never even thought of that. I never thought of that, but I can understand it.
Yeah,
that's a big beard. That's a gnarly beard.
Gnarly.
Man.
On the Ultimate Fighter, I rolled with Kimbo, and I just had freaking juices, man. All that beard holds a lot of stuff. It's not good.
That's disgusting.
Not good, dog.
That is disgusting.
I'm with you on that one, man.
So you just want it shaved from a hygiene standpoint. You just don't want that beard in your face.
And also, you know, like, why not mess with him a little bit? You know, I don't mind messing with people. You know, I think it's funny.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of cool, you know, mess with him a little bit, try to take him out of his game, you know. He doesn't want to shave his beard, you know. There's something to that, you know. If he's had it for as long as he had, there's something there.
It's like Samson cutting his hair. It's like Samson's cutting his hair, you know. And one of the things, Daniel, that I've always, you know, you're as an Olympian, you have a great deal of mental toughness. That's a huge factor, it seems. I've never seen you really. You always seem game ready, man. You get in there, and there doesn't look like any doubt in your eyes.
Yeah, you know, man. When I get in that cage, you know, I find comfort in my training situation. I'm confident in the people that I train with. I'm confident in the work that we put in. You know, I believe that we've done everything in our power to prepare for those 15 or 25 minutes. You know, so. I'm in my element, man, because at the end of the day, you know, it's a fight, but it's a competition. You know, I'm there to compete. I'm there to compete against the best in the world, and I'm there to show people what I've been working so hard to do, man. That's my element. I enjoy every second of it. I love fighting. I love competition. And yeah, I'm not doubting myself one bit when I go into a cage.
Yeah,
And
that's very
DC's
obvious.
damn good at it, too.
Yeah, man, it's very
Hey,
obvious.
DC, I read an interview because Frank Mir was your first UFC fight. You said you felt the UFC jitters. Am I correct?
I did, man. And you know what, man? I thought that if anyone was immune to that, it would be me. I was like, man, my athletic career has prepared me for every situation. But you know what, man? I put a lot of pressure on myself, and you know, with success comes expectation, and a lot of expectation as to how I was supposed to look in that fight. And you know, Frank was in great physical condition. Frank was ready to fight.
For sure.
He did a great job. He did good for himself. I didn't fight my best fight, but Frank represented himself well, and yeah, I felt it, man. I really did believe that my athletic career prepared me for it, but you know, it was in San Jose, people screaming my name and the music. It's just all these things that you dream about for a long time when you fight. When it finally starts to happen, it can be a little overwhelming.
It's just a different animal. It's like the Super Bowl of fighting. Every fight, your big fight, it's like the Super Bowl. It's just a lot of pressure. It's different.
And you know, I didn't get to ease into it. You know, like my first fight was the co-main event of Fox, and my second fight is the co-main event of a big pay-per-view. You know,
That's
so
what you asked
I didn't
for,
get
my
to
man.
Ease into it, and exactly, I asked for that. I asked for it, and I got it.
Yep.
And
You know,
I
Daniel.
have to deal with it. I have to deal with it.
Daniel,
and I'm fine with it now.
You did great,
Yeah,
man.
you do great. But talk about how much of a factor, like when you freestyle match, it's 9 minutes, I believe. You know, and you're talking about 15 minutes. That's a. People don't realize what an eon that is. That's such a long time, and then forget 25 minutes. I mean, that is so incredibly long when you're throwing in wrestling and punching and you're fighting for your life. I don't think a lot of people even realize just the kind of physical conditioning you have to be in to just to weather that in itself. And did you find that to be a big adjustment from being a wrestler and now having to be a kicker, puncher, wrestler, MMA guy for even longer, almost twice as long?
The first time I went to the distance, I was completely exhausted. I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, I can't breathe. I was like, this is horrible. I was like, I never want to fight 15 minutes again. And then I fought Jeff Munson, and it wasn't so bad. And then I fought Bigfoot, and it was fast. And when I fought Josh Barnett, I promise you, between the fourth round and the fifth round, I went to the corner. I was like, man, I may pass out in here because I was so nervous. He caught me in a leg lock in the fourth round. It was a close, tough fight. We were fighting at a high pace. I was like, I'm going to faint. Because most fights, like you get into a street fight, that lasts like 7 seconds.
Yep.
You just go balls to the wall for 7 seconds, and then somebody breaks you up. And if they don't, you're kind of looking at each other, looking at your friends, hoping somebody breaks you up.
That's right.
So you got to be, you put in a lot of work to go over a fight 15 minutes, man. And you're going to get tired. I mean, everybody gets tired. It's just gauge your performance after you're tired. How much does it fall off?
Absolutely. It's not a natural thing. You're right. It's not actually because, well, it's the most natural form. Fighting for 15 minutes or 25 minutes is not natural. You're fighting another highly skilled athlete. You know, I mean, Brendan and I always talk about the fact that this is a sport. The reason I have so much respect as a spectator is that it's a sport that requires that you are constantly refining and adding to your arsenal. If you don't do that, you're going to be left behind. Right? I mean,
thing is, like, if you look at some of the guys that were most successful just 3 years ago, if they didn't change, the game passes you by. It's like, it's unreal. And now you're getting guys like Brendan, who was a football player at a Division I level, coming to do MMA at a pro level. You know, they play pro football. You have guys like myself who are Olympic wrestlers now, not just NCAA All-Americans, coming in and fighting. You know, so you have these athletes now where it's not just a guy that might have done some karate or something back in the day, and now he's fighting, or a high school wrestler. You know, no,
that's right.
It's the level of guy is so much higher, and because these athletes are so much better, they're able to pick things up and do more advanced things faster. So the game keeps evolving. See, that's the thing about John Jones. You know, he's probably the first. I don't want to call him super athlete, He's one of those rare athletes that normally is on the basketball court or on the football field.
That's right.
He's one of those first ones to get into the cage at such a young age, and you see what he's done to the competition.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, I think both his brothers, one brother plays for the Ravens, I believe, and the other brother is about to go pro, right?
No, he plays for New England.
Plays for New England. So he's got two brothers in the NFL. Talk about that. I mean, you want to talk about a gene pool, a high-level athlete. I mean, you know, that's pretty amazing. So, you're talking about NFL athletes and Olympic athletes.
You would see him against some of the guys like Shogun, who was so successful back in the day, and you see him in there against Rampage Jackson, and it's almost like they're on they're from two different planets.
They are
he's so much more athletic than those guys are, or they could ever just be naturally, you know?
Yeah.
DC, you got to be one of the busiest guys in the UFC, because let people know you do the Fox shows, the pre and post fight shows. You got your fights coming up. You got a family. You live in San Jose, correct?
Yes, I do live in San Jose. Yeah.
Dude is busy, man. He's all over the place.
I've got a schedule right after. Like on Wednesday after my fight, I'm hosting UFC. The night show is going to be in England. Then I have a pre and post fight show on Friday, Saturday, and then, you know, there's another couple, you know, and then, you know, my kids wrestling program. I have a kids wrestling program with 40 kids. I'm actually opening up another location here in San Jose right now. So, yeah, man, it's a busy time, but it's a good time because, you know what, we have a short window to capitalize on this stuff.
That's right. That's exactly right. And let me ask you this: with all that on your plate, how has your nutrition changed and things like that? How has your lifestyle changed? Have you had to change how you eat? Have you had to change how you sleep? I mean, I would imagine that becomes a very important factor in your lifestyle, or maybe not.
Oh yeah, man. I got a nutrition sponsor, Automatic Body. They take care of all my supplements and everything. I actually have a guy now. He actually cooks all my food for me. From a company, it's called Real Fuel.
That's when you know you've arrived. That's when you know you arrived. You got your own chef. That's what I'm talking about, Daniel. Thank you.
But he's not. You know, he's a guy that he makes all the food because he knows that I'm trying to get my weight off and live healthier. So you have to have a good team around you. You know, these are battles that are hard to take on by yourself.
Yep.
So I have all these great people around me that are willing to help me, and it's making this much easier than I ever could have expected it to be.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing you against Big Country, man. My money's on you, Daniel. All due respect to the bearded giant, but I got my money on you, man.
I'm excited to see him versus Roy, and then I can't wait for him at 205. Thank you for going to 205, DC.
Oh, good for you. You're going to chop through some people, man. I got my money on you, Daniel Cormier. I'm telling you right now.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Hey, Brendan, you remember when I first started, I was in Denver. Brendan Schaub submitted me 10 times.
Oh, boy. Here goes. Here goes. Well,
I was 2 weeks into I was about 2 months into my MMA career, and I had to grapple Schaub, and he beat my ass. I can't wait to grapple Schaub.
Let's do it, dog. Let's do it, brother.
Payback. You heard it first. Hey, Daniel, good luck, man. Get back to your busy life. We appreciate you coming on.
Hey, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
All right, man. Later. He's a good man.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
That's
Great
fine.
guy.
I didn't know that. You kept you tight-lipped about that, Mr. Schaub.
I don't brag, man. I don't brag.
You've rolled with the best of them.
The very best in the world.
It's funny because I hear about you rolling and fighting guys who are top level, very famous guys, and you never say anything. You go, no, it's good, and you're very tight-lipped. It's the other people I hear about who tell me how you do.
It's the guys who
it's
the guys who don't do stuff when it counts, who count practice.
Well, you rolled with a very
champions don't talk about practice.
You rolled with a very high level, very famous jiu-jitsu guy I won't talk about. Well, I won't say his name, but we were there, and I said, how'd you do? And somebody else who was there said there was only one guy tapping, and it wasn't Schaub.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, don't try that jar stroke on me, bro. I'll jump right to my knees. right to me. Then what are you going to do? Nothing. Don't ever try that on me. Do me a favor. Don't ever try that on me.
Don't ever.
I mean, you're bigger, and you are better. I will give you that. Don't try that stupid dart choke. Don't do that.
That's stupid.
I'm jumping right to
that stupid.
I'll jump right to my knees. I would find it a personal insult if you tried to get me in that.
You know, I rolled last night at the Gracie Academy. Is the Helio 100 where we roll for 100 minutes straight.
Amazing.
I rolled with 10 different people for 10 minutes. I'd say 7 or 8 out of the 10 tried Darce choking me because they saw me do it.
Is that true?
Yeah, I think it'd been good for them.
Darce choke is a very sneaky thing.
Yeah, it's cool, man. It was a cool experience.
Yeah.
Great experience. How about DC, though? Cutting to 205. Yeah. It's just the best thing for him, man. I really listen. He can compete at the very highest level. He would probably, you know, fight for the title at heavyweight. But if you look at his structure and his body at 205, I just think
It favors.
there's not much competition out there that's going to beat him at 205.
Absolutely.
Who's going to beat him? I'd love to hear it. I think Glover's a tough matchup for him.
Yeah, Glover's a tough
matchup.
I like that matchup though.
Yeah. I think Phil Davis is interesting, being such a high level wrestler.
I don't think Phil Davis. I don't know. I think
there's some
Cormier-
great matchups for him.
Yeah, you work very hard on your boxing. Your footwork was pretty impeccable against Mitrione. When you watch a guy like Cormier, what do you think of his boxing, his footwork? Are you seeing a boxer there, or are you seeing just a guy?
I'm seeing a powerful guy. I'm seeing a right hand that is lightning fast, and there's a lot of power.
And he's
with
putting
it.
himself in position as a wrestler to get that off.
Exactly,
but he's not necessarily boxing.
And the reason why his boxing is so successful is because everyone he fights has to worry about getting taken down because he's such a high level wrestler.
But as a
And he sets a
jiu-jitsu
good
guy,
pace.
as a jiu-jitsu guy, you, for example, would
I
you
want
be
him to shoot him.
You do. You're less worried about his takedown because you've got an answer on the ground, and I'd imagine that he would want to take you down.
I want him to shoot in from a distance so I can set up my Darce chokes and anaconda and stuff like that. But with his underhook and his cage awareness, listen, DC is an absolute.
He's also a fire
nightmare.
hydrant.
Fire hydrant, and he's just a monster. So I think he's new great. Hopefully he gets Roy Nelson cut his beard. Listen. Anyone who counts Roy Nelson out, though, you're out of your mind. Listen, I know Roy very well.
Jiu-jitsu.
Henzo Gracie black belt.
Wow,
and
that's no joke.
And Roy's fought the very best, the toughest of the tough.
Yeah.
I mean, he fought one guy by the name of Brendan Schaub. It was ridiculous. It was crazy.
Did you see the knees he took from Verdum?
And just kept on plugging away.
I've never seen that.
He's amazing.
Let's stay on the topic of jiu-jitsu because you are somebody who that's your passion. I'm one of your passions, but so is jiu-jitsu.
You're my side piece. Jiu-jitsu's my main squeeze. You're my side piece. Yeah.
Thank you. Now let's talk a little bit about Damian Maia, Jake Shields.
Ooh.
Damian Maia's been working on his striking. From what I understand, he's really made big headway with his striking. But
at 170, Damian Maia belongs at 170. He's on a tear.
That's crazy.
Is tearing it up.
So
man.
now he's going to be. Now if they go to the ground, have you
That's
rolled?
interesting.
You've rolled with Shields. You've not rolled with Maia.
Shields is a good buddy. Never rolled with Maia. I mean, as far as pure jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu goes, yeah, Maia's probably the favorite on the ground for sure.
Really?
Shields is a monster, man. Shields wrestling, I think, is better than Maia's.
Really?
As far as striking goes, I'd probably give the edge to Maia as well.
Yeah.
It's a tough fight for Jake in Brazil.
You're giving the fight to Maia.
I didn't say that.
Hey, you can't say that because he's your buddy.
Shields is my boy.
Because you're the United Nations, dude. You know that? You're a useless fight caller on this show. So I'll do it. Damian Maia.
How? He won't submit Jake.
No, I was going to say. I'll tell you exactly. I think if they go to the ground, it's going to be very, very. It's going to be a stalemate. But I think Maia has been working on his striking. Shields, for as good as he is for 10 years, is not the striker that a lot of guys are. I think it's a larger obstacle for him to overcome for whatever reason. I think Maia's going to light him up.
Okay, so how does he win?
I believe he.
Is he going to knock him out?
I believe so.
You want to bet on this?
Yeah, I do, dude.
We'll bet. We'll bet lunch on Abbott Kenny.
Yeah, because Jake's your boyfriend.
No,
and you can never bet against your friends. You can never call anybody against your friends because they're all my friends. Why don't you run for mayor? Do me a favor.
I might.
Why don't you run for mayor?
I might be the mayor.
UFC mayor, dude.
No. I'm gonna be the mayor of Marina Del Rey.
You already are that.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, I think Jean-Claude Van Damme, he lives very close.
Does he?
He does. He's my childhood hero.
He's got a high, tight ass and long legs. Seeing him, short torso. I've made a very detailed study. I made a study of his body, and his pants couldn't be cracked up high enough. He's got his belt is where his belly button is, and
does he still wear a fanny pack? You bet your ass he does. You know what? I wish you would see him off Abbott Kenny make fun of that fanny pack and get freaking kicked to the face. I'd pay money for him to do that. See, I don't call myself the mayor of Marina Del Rey because Jean-Claude Van Damme's just up the street.
And you're right to do so. You're right to know your place. But I'm going to tell you something right now. Mind your P's and Q's around him because he'll slap your face with his feet.
Let's go over. I'll tell you the rest of this Fox Sports 1 card. The fight night, Maia and Shields. There's some good fights on this thing, man.
Yeah.
Let me educate you a little bit.
Go ahead.
You got Thiago Silva, Hamill. Who's your pick on that one? I'm gonna go through the picks. I'm not gonna give you an update on these guys.
Hold on.
I'll tell you right now, fight of the night. There's gonna be no argument. No, I don't want to hear a freaking peep out of you. I'm going to call Jean-Claude Van Damme and have him kick you in the face.
Bring him.
Modondo versus my boy Joey Beltran. That's your fight of the night.
I
promise you that's your fight of the night, people.
I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Don't put money on me ever on bets, but this one,
Isn't Beltran coming off a loss?
He's coming off a suspension. All right. He trains at Alliance. If you see this guy, he's just as tough as they come.
Yep.
You got Pierce, Paul Harris. I'd love to see Paul Harris put you in a leg lock again.
Paul Harris was, I think, suspended for a little while as well for substance abuse, for steroids, from what I understand. I might be speaking out of turn.
I thought it was steak and potatoes.
It might have been steak and potatoes.
I don't know.
But Paul Harris is a submission specialist. He's as thick and strong as it gets.
They call his nickname means tree stump.
Oh,
tree stump. I have the same nickname. We're not talking about my body structure.
That's in the sexual circles.
That's in the down below.
That's
between
in the
these
swinger circles, ladies and gentlemen.
Genes.
That's
Anyways,
exactly right.
Paul Harris, I heard a story about this guy. He can only train with his brother because anyone else he trains with, he doesn't really have a filter and doesn't have a tolerance when he trains.
He just breaks
and he gets
knees,
leg
he
locks
tears
and
knees.
he tears people's legs off.
Yeah,
so his brother's the only guy that will train with him.
Not a guy you want to roll with.
So that's a tough fight for Pierce. So Paul Harris, Pierce, who you taking?
I don't know. I just don't know. It depends. I think Pierce
okay,
has probably got the
Sweden,
edge.
you're just giving me the shit.
Pierce got the edge in striking, I think, than Paul Harris. I haven't seen what Paul Harris can do as a striker.
He really doesn't mess around with it. I mean, he's not awful.
And
Modondo, Joey Beltran.
God,
Modondo's body shots are nasty. The kid can box, too. He's with Team Nogueira.
Yeah.
Silva, Matt Hamill.
I go with Silva.
Knockout?
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah. I mean, Silva's a lot to manage.
Silva versus the stun gun. That's a great fight, too. That has Fight of the Night written all over it, too.
Yeah.
Stun gun's a monster.
Yeah.
Who you got?
I'm going with stun gun.
All right. And then the main event, you're taking Damian Maia?
Obviously I'm taking Damian Maia. Obviously. All due respect to Jake Shields as a warrior. But
this is a very underrated card, man. I mean, you look at this. That is a fun card.
What are they going to do about pokes in the eye? What do you do? Is there any answer?
No, there's no answer. There's nothing you can really. It's not like it's a epidemic. Like they're like, hopefully he doesn't get poked in the eye in this main event.
Well, but the thing is, like when
a stupid ass question.
No, because you got a guy like Bisping who may have to retire from the sport because he can't afford to get poked in the eye. Whereas if you're a boxer, you have a attached wrestling.
Better change your style. Better change up your style then, huh? Better start grappling a little more.
I'd wear shades.
See, I like that. See, I want those old like Hakeem Olajuwon shades where they were super tight and they're clear. My brother rocked those forever. Jay knows what I'm talking about. The YMCA, he'd wear them all the time.
Jay,
everyone wanted to make fun of him.
You know what Jay's nickname is? David Blaine.
That's right. He does look identical
the
to
thick David Blaine.
Can we talk about something that's bothering me a little bit?
Yeah.
Can we talk about me for a second?
Go ahead.
So with the guys I train with, Mark Munoz, probably my closest training partner and friend in Southern California. Yeah. Lyoto Machida just took me under his wing, got my swagger back striking.
Yeah. Mark's got his hands full.
Guess what? I wake up and my Twitter blew up because Bisping backed out because of his eye, which is understandable. Things happen. These two have to fight each other now.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah, it's
so you want to talk about Sweden? A little bit. I'm in the middle. I'm not helping either guy out. I'm not helping either guy.
You can't. You got to be quiet now.
Or if either guy asks me, this is the best part though. Huron Henner Gracie are cornering the opposite. So Henner Gracie's cornering Lyoto Machida because they work with both of them.
Oh, no.
Henner and Huron is cornering Mark Munoz, and they're all going to England together. How crazy is that?
You know what? In this game, it seems like you can't really get too close to anybody.
You know what my problem is? I love everybody.
I know.
Everyone that potentially want to match me up with, I'm like, shit, that's my friend. But then I think about it, I'm like, I don't think they're saying the same thing.
Well,
I'm super nice.
You
I just
really like
everyone.
Matt Mitrione.
Love him.
Yeah.
Love him. I've sent him texts. After the fight, I give him a big hug, man, and
I know
I
you
wish
love
the best.
guy.
I love Matt, man.
And you had to put it on him. So
I mean, that's part of the business. I mean, when you talk about the best crossover athlete in the UFC, I mean that was the point I was trying to prove. I fought all these football players. There's only one who's being successful. Yeah. So for me, it was a big statement fight. And listen, after the fight, I gave Matt a big hug. He understood. We built the fight up. A lot of that animosity was very real.
Yeah.
But the fight's over. It's over and done with. It went my way. It has to be real. I can't be.
What are you going to do? You got to punch him in the face. You're trying to.
Either way, we're going to fight. Whatever you say, either way, we're going to fight.
It's a real
Hopefully,
fight.
I say something where it makes you emotional enough where you come in aggressive like you did and then get put to sleep. However, now, I sent Matt a tweet. I've sent him texts. I haven't heard from him. So, Matt, if you're listening, hit me up, buddy. It's over. Let's be training partners. Come out here. I'll help you. So,
Mitch
he's doing good, man.
a class act.
He's a good guy. He's a monster.
Yeah.
But
No doubt.
I'm definitely not picking this fight. And we'll talk about, I'm sure, the week of the fight.
Well,
let's talk about it a little early. Machida.
Yeah. I'll pick it for you.
No, you're not. Well,
I mean,
I know both guys very well, but literally both are my. If I have to pick two guys to ride or die with, it's Lyoto Machida and Mark Munoz.
that's a very tough thing.
The two nicest guys in the sport.
Yeah.
Nicest guys.
Killers.
Killers.
Mark Munoz wrestling pedigree speaks for itself. You're talking about Lyoto Machida, who fights at a very different distance, very hard.
First fight for Machida at 185.
Yeah.
Grant, he walked around at 208.
I forgot about that.
208. He walked around at 208.
Oh, so it's not a problem sucking.
Not an issue. He should have been 85 all this time.
Well, that's ridiculous. That's crazy.
That's how much of a monster he is, fighting these big dudes.
He's also fighting at a different distance. It's impossible to train for him because you can't find a sparring partner who's like that, with the exception of Uriah Hall, maybe.
Which they have it down at Ring Training Center, who Mark's working with nonstop.
Okay.
Carry on. Keep going. What else you got?
You're still dealing with a very unorthodox guy who's in some ways and in many ways, top 3 best strikers of all time.
Ever.
Oh, and by the way, crazy takedown defense. Good luck taking him down.
He's a black belt on the ground as well.
And good luck getting him against the fence. He's fine there. So, unfortunately, I got to put all my money, and it's all due respect.
I'm gonna take a warm hand to your face and clown
Mark
my boy,
Munoz is a
Munoz.
stud. I'm not clowning him at all. He's a stud. He's a man. I have great respect, but I gotta go with if I'm putting my money down, I gotta put it down on the Dragon.
On the Dragon.
What, are you
He's the
kidding
Bruce
me?
Lee of the UFC. Isn't it great?
Yeah.
I'll guarantee you this. There will be no trash talking amongst either of them. First of all, Mark's awful at talking trash. He's horrible.
And Leo doesn't speak a word of English.
You got a dirty shirt, bro. I'm like, not the way to go, my man. Not good.
Mark Munoz
he's just
talks
so nice.
Trash.
He's so nice. He just can't. It's not in his
That's
blood.
hilarious.
Yeah, he's the best. And then, Lyoto, he's Bruce Lee. He's not going to talk trash.
Yeah.
He's going to come there with his Dragon team, and they're going to freaking try and kick you in the face.
Listen, I've talked to you off the record about what it's like to fight that guy, what's it like to spar with that guy, and where his kicks and punches come out of nowhere.
Oh, it's fun your first day striking with Lyoto Machida, and you get 4 toes in your face.
Yeah, I don't know how you do that.
Man.
I really don't know how
in
you
my
do
mouth,
that,
I was
dude.
like,
That's awful.
I look around, there's cameras. It was like the entire gym stopped. Everyone's like, let's watch Brendan get kicked in the face real quick.
You're eating toes.
Oh, dude, right in the face. Like, you know how he knocked out Randy Couture?
Yeah.
When we were sparring, I was like, God, if he kicks me in the face, I'm going to be super embarrassed with all these people watching. Literally, as soon as I thought that, bam, here comes Lyoto's tan foot to the face.
Now, here's the problem. You're sparring with a guy like that. You know you're going to get hurt. You know he's going to kick you, and it really hurts.
It's not. The thing is, yeah, he kicked me. Yeah, he landed some good stuff, and so did I, but we're both professionals, man. No one got hurt.
No, I understand.
We're at such a high level.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about him hurting me.
Oh, really? Okay, so
he doesn't have to worry, and I'm way heavier than him, and he doesn't have to worry about me hurting him. We get after it, though, that's for sure.
Well, you got to get after it. That's actually a very important question I want to ask. I mean, you are training for a fight that's going to be at full speed. At some point,
can't go half-ass.
Well, I mean,
there's no going through the motions.
So then the question becomes, when you're sparring with a guy who can hit like that, to a certain extent, you've got to turn the jets up, and you are trying to hit each other.
We both turn the jets up, but when you're at a certain level, it's gonna be tough to land stuff.
Right,
you got to be a real big asshole to get knocked out in practice.
Okay,
you got to be a real dumbass
because you guys are.
You got to be real emotional and just not thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had a time where I've had. I'm not saying with Lyoto, but I've had times where I've thrown a right hand, and you'll take 30% off of it. Where if it's a fight, it's probably gonna knock the guy out.
Okay.
Lyoto's thrown kicks towards my head, where if it's a fight and that if you would have landed that flush, yeah, man, it'd been a short night for me.
How much bag work do you or someone like Lyoto Machida work? How much does the heavy bag play a factor for boxers when you're building power?
For conditioning, maybe a little bit, not too much. It's all about footwork. Lyoto prides himself on footwork, so he's really not hitting stationary targets. Neither am I. I mean,
That's
my
interesting.
coach works and his coach. I mean, our coaches are in crazy shape because they have to be able to go 5-minute rounds of nonstop moving.
Yeah,
That's how
Tony Jeffries, you can see it.
Ridiculous.
I didn't even know who he was. I looked at him and went, oh, that guy's a fighter.
Yeah, that's why the footwork is so important because you're not fighting a stationary target.
It's where you punch from.
Yeah, so it's old school. I feel like the heavy bag, it can be used as a tool, but it's a little old school, especially if you're known for your footwork.
It's for movies. It's not to show how like you can make it seem like you hit really hard with a heavy bag, but it's not. It's
anyone can hit a standing.
It's
target.
like with Kieran, who was holding the mitt, and I was trying to box, and he would only hold one mitt, and he was holding it so awkwardly, and I was like, no, but I want to hold it here so I can hit
so I can really
and
make
he's
a
like,
blast.
you're always moving, and he kept making me stand.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to. I was like, oh, this sucks.
It's
I can't
just
get any
awkward.
power.
Yeah.
I couldn't actually punch. I was like,
No, everyone looks tough on the bag.
right,
Everyone looks tough on
right.
it because standing.
I didn't
there.
like it. It was
Yeah.
driving me crazy.
I'll tell you what was surprising for me. What happened in the UFC? You know, it's the nature of the sport, but Yushin Okami, who's 13-5 in the UFC, he won 3 straight. Then he just lost. He got knocked out with Jacare and got released.
I think that they sit around and
you give your theory and then I'll give you mine.
I just think
and mine's probably real and yours probably some bullshit.
No, I'm
Go ahead.
very, very intelligent.
You probably read yours out of Crackerback
I have Dana on speakerphone right now. He's just not talking.
Okay.
I just think that at the end of the day, the UFC is what? Entertainment. You're
100%.
selling tickets. If you have a guy who is as conservative as Yushin Okami, who wins but grinds it out,
He's a robot.
You're going to make room for an exciting kicker, puncher with a mohawk.
It's tough because so you bring in the guy with the mohawk who's goes 4-4 in the UFC and he wins some, he loses some.
Yeah.
And then you got Yushin Okami, who is a world class fighter. Yep. Amazing fighter.
Yep.
Can beat 98% of the middleweight division and has done it.
Yeah.
He loses when he lost to Anderson Silva. He said Jacare. He's lost to the very best.
Yeah.
It's just tough, man, because it's tough because
they do research on this stuff. They go, who wants to see Yushin Okami?
100%. But what about the Japanese market? People love him, man. But this is, you're right. It's a form of
not paying your bills, probably.
Not paying your bills, but the form of entertainment. Is he entertaining? No. Can he beat the exciting guys? Yes. Is he going to be boring? 100%.
Right.
But the guy is a damn good fighter. He was labeled as the very best Japanese fighter out of Japan ever.
Yeah. He's a big
That's
guy.
what they're saying.
He's so big. He's so tall.
He's about my size.
Is he really?
He's huge.
Because I talked to him.
I did a press conference when we all fought in Brazil. It was Okami, Forrest Griffin, and myself, and then obviously Anderson Silva, Shogun Nogueira, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And so the three, Yushin, Forrest, and myself would be on one bus going around with each other, and Forrest and Okami get on the bus, and I'm like, how am I the smallest guy here?
That's crazy.
It's weird, huh?
That's crazy.
It's weird. I was like,
that's so weird to me how big. That's
crazy,
nuts.
man. Forrest is huge, but Okami
he's very
is
tall
massive.
and very big. Yeah.
So, but with Okami, I just feel like where does he go? World Series of Fighting. He goes, he goes to these other venues, and he's just gonna dominate.
Yeah, he's gonna.
I feel like I don't think Okami's bad for the sport. I think he's.
Look,
he's
man,
a robot. He fights like a robot, and it's not exciting. And the UFC kind of was. That's not what they're looking for. I get it.
It's about.
I get both
entertainment.
sides.
Yeah.
I get both sides, right?
Yeah, yeah. Of course you do. As a business guy, when you're looking at your bottom line, you're looking at how to generate the one.
No one's buying pay-per-views to watch Okami unless you're in Japan.
That's it.
And even then, obviously the UFC
excitement.
knows these numbers. They would have done it.
Just got to generate. It's got most people who watch the UFC, when they see some technical battle on the ground with jiu-jitsu,
they hate it.
They tune out. They start booing.
They hate it.
You're watching guys work for position.
No, they want to see Leonard
fascinating.
Garcia throw from his hips, and they get all crazy about it.
Right. That's yet
That's
another
a problem.
challenge.
That's a problem.
It's yet another challenge to being a pro fighter, though, right? It's yet another consideration people don't think about that you have to think about, where they go, you almost have to. You don't want to change your style, but you do have to, in the back of your mind, think, I got to make this an exciting fight.
You got to look for finishes.
That's crazy.
When I fought LeVar Johnson, I was looking for finishes. I went for 6 or 7 submissions. He was so big and was on different supplements. It just didn't work out.
He was on supplements?
Yeah, so I was looking for stuff.
Excuse me?
And I was looking for the finish. It didn't happen. And then so I just kept holding him down. I've never taken so much heat for a fight. I took more heat on beating LeVar Johnson 3 rounds
Yeah.
than I did losing a fight in the first round.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Because people don't realize how hard it is just to hold a guy like that
To hold
down.
a 260-pound guy on
who's working to hurt you.
who's on different supplements than me is a tough gig. But then, then you go out and you fight Mitrione, and, it was a great win for me. And people are, oh, man, his
Clean.
jiu-jitsu, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I had the same jiu-jitsu when I fought LeVar. It just things happen, man. So with Okami, especially at his level, listen, he's not fighting some guy who's 1-1 in the UFC. He's fighting the very, very best the entire world has to offer. And he's beating 9 out of 10 of them.
One of the things that one of the reasons Nate Marquardt went down to 70, we were talking, was that he just realized when he fought Okami was really tall. And he was like, I think I do better at 70. It's not maybe not the only reason, but I know that had played a factor in his decision.
Now,
to realize,
our boy Nate Marquardt is fighting Hector Lombard from AT&T, which hold up. You had an ATT shirt on yesterday. You're supposed to be Nate's boy.
I showed up with an ATT, but Thiago Alves is my boy, and so is Mike Brown. Don't kid yourself.
They're not your boy.
Hey, bro,
they went
I got
to your
long
show
arms,
once.
man.
They went to your show
Tried
once
3 times,
and now they're your boy.
Fans.
You've stayed.
They're fans. Thiago,
you stayed at Nate's house.
I want you to tweet, and Mike Brown tweet. I want to tweet to Brendan Shaw, please, at Brendan Shaw, and tell him what a fan you are.
Yeah, it's at Brendan Schaub. Yeah,
they're in my posse, bro.
Yeah, they're in
we
your
run
They
together.
went to your show twice.
We
They're not
run
your
together,
friends.
bro. We've had good times.
Nate's not your friend?
And me and my boy
What about Nate?
Jeff Tasher, who's a SWAT sergeant. I run with a heavy crew down in Florida, bro. Don't kid yourself. Mike Brown, Jeff Tasher.
What about, all right, so Nate Dogg fighting Hector Lombard. He's on the same card as Roy and Cormier.
You and I both know, and you even more than I do, because you're a fighter, know how dangerous Nate Marquardt can be. We know that he is, that on any given day, Nate Marquardt can beat the crap out of anybody on the planet.
True.
He's also fighting a very dangerous, explosive guy who, by the way,
First cut at 70. Sucked down.
That's a big suck. Lombard is a big, thick man. It's like, he's 5'7", 5'8". He's huge.
Huge.
Good luck.
Thick. Yeah.
He's got to suck down. I think one of his legs weighs 170. I don't know how he's going to do it. I guess he is going to do it.
What do you weigh right now?
I weigh 170. He's got to suck down to my weight.
Listen, you weigh 170. You'd probably fight at
35. Kieran told me I had to suck down to 35.
That's not true. That's not true.
At 45.
I mean, even at 70, you could fight at 55. You're big.
I'd suck down to 45.
Tall. You'd fight at 55. I think we should do a challenge where we cut down to 55.
I could do it easily.
Really? How many weeks?
What do you want to see? I got to start.
I
I'll
want
start
to see
training.
No, I don't give a flying crap.
You don't want to see?
If
You see
train.
my. Speaking of flying, you should see my flying back kick.
Yeah, I bet. But 155. How many weeks?
I can do it in
4 weeks.
I do it in a week.
I
was a wrestler, bro.
Oh my
I was a wrestler. I can suck.
You
weight
wrestled in high school.
I just can suck.
50 years ago.
Hey, that's not 50. Excuse me, sir. It's still in my heart.
Still in my heart.
I still have it in my blood.
I played basketball in high school. I don't tell people I'm a basketball player.
Dude, by the way, your double leg, you got to touch your knee when you go in. You just have to.
Dude, just give me a damn stevia.
We'll go over it.
Yeah, freaking stevia.
Get me a stevia, waiter.
155, you'll take that challenge?
Oh, yeah, it's not a problem for me. I can suck down to 55
2
right
weeks?
now. Less. What do you want to see? You want to see it in 10 days?
There's no way. You do it in 10 days, I'll take you to any restaurant you want
So easy.
in LA.
So easy. I laugh. I scoff at 55.
No way.
Yeah, scoff at it. I have iron discipline, dude. Iron discipline. Look at my eyes. Look at the intensity in my eyes. It's not a problem. It's water weight. I just got to suck. I'll run, sweat it out.
You're not that thick. I mean, you don't have a lot of body fat on you.
No, I don't. Thank you finally for acknowledging just exactly how shredded I am.
It's not
You
bad.
tweeted that thing where I'm standing in front of the John Jones poster.
I'm going to. I'm going to.
Tweet that. Let the people. Let
gonna let
America
people see
decide what I'm working with. What I'm working
155, 10 days. You make it. I pick. If you don't make it, I get to pick any restaurant in LA. If you do make it, you get a pick.
That's not a problem. I'll be 155. I'm going to take my pants off so you see that I make like the letter L. It's fascinating.
Make like the letter L, huh?
Get it? My wiener. Hey, everybody! You make the letter V. 2 V's. What else do we have to talk
Challenge accepted, my man.
I'm down
155. I don't see that happening. I do not see that happening.
Dude, it's not a problem for me. You know, I have so many tricks. I wish you'd let me show
We got
you some
10
tricks.
minutes. You know what the thing is?
Dude, I think you and I might be doing Chelsea lately. We won't say it out loud.
We can say it out loud. You bet your ass I'm doing Chelsea lately.
Yeah, I'm on the panel that
I'm
same
on the
time.
panel too.
And then I fly to Buffalo.
For what?
Oh, by the way.
Oh, I fly to Costa Rica.
Hold.
Oh, my God.
Wait a minute, America.
Hey, no, can I fill this in? America, hey, I'm being Las Vegas, Nevada at Hooters Hotel from midnight
No,
till
I won't.
4. Chicken wings and prime rib is half off. I will be in North Dakota at Billy's Basement and Grandma's Porridge from 4 to 7. That's how this goes.
That's a good impression of me. Hey, everybody, I'm Brian Callen.
No,
I'll be at Donnie B's this weekend.
Donnie B's.
Springfield, Illinois. And then guess what? I'll be in Houston at the Houston Improv October. Hold that thought.
You got that?
Hold. Where is it? I can't. Why? I'm
This
going to be
is
October 12th,
amateur hour.
13th, 14th. Then I'll be in Buffalo at Helium. So come out. Only if you like to laugh.
And if anyone goes to the show, please heckle him and yell, Big Brown, when
Big
you're in the crowd.
Brown. October 10th, 11th, and 12th.
And tweet me if you yell Big Brown to him and mention the
13th.
podcast.
Yeah.
I'll retweet you. I'll do whatever you want.
Yeah, maybe I'll even give you free tickets. So,
Well,
shout out Big Brown.
Big Brown, you get free tickets.
We got to get made. Let's get some T-shirts made.
Big Brown
Big Brown.
tees,
Well, we got to get T-shirts that say "Built for Dance, Built for War."
built for dance. You are built for dance. I am built for war.
That's right.
This is true.
That's going to be our.
I think your
our
wife
logo.
told me that. It's weird.
Yeah. What?
Yeah, it's
She
weird.
didn't give you the hungry eyes, did she?
Hungry eyes,
Oh no.
to say the least. Bit. They kept inviting me over for dinner. It's
What?
weird. Yeah.
When I was gone?
Yeah, when you're out of town.
Cut to me.
She's like, I got a baby.
Cut to me crouching in the corner with
Yeah.
a video camera, crying but masturbating.
She's like, I got a babysitter. I'm like, all right, where's Brian? Is it Brian out
Brennan,
of town?
don't. Oh no. And then she's like this. She's like, oh, push harder. It's almost inside of me. I feel like somebody's throwing a hot dog down the hallway.
This is weird.
Brennan, you're so big.
That is your wife.
What's with that nub? And I'm like, hey, honey, don't worry. Don't make him feel bad. Don't embarrass him. Don't embarrass him with that little nub. He's got a strong butt at least.
You know what I love?
I can't believe I'm talking about the mother of my children. Like
Yeah,
that.
right? You gotta.
This podcast.
Hopefully
just
she
took a
doesn't
turn.
listen to the podcast. How about
Yeah, like she'd ever listen to this,
right?
Oh,
Take
fighting.
an hour out of her life
like
of
any
us
girl,
talking about fighting.
Like any girl besides Rhonda and pro fighters want to listen to. They even Rhonda would be bored right now.
I got a couple of girls who can listen to the podcast, my man. Take it easy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
you're
listen-
the married one, homie.
You got female fans. Bro.
Yeah, it's whatever. It's a curse.
You're a good-looking
sometimes.
kid.
I'm all right.
We're gonna go to Abbott Kenny now and grab ourselves a soda pop.
Yeah, we might. How about yesterday when we were down at Abbott Kenny and we're Dove Davidoff,
Dove Davidoff and Brett Ernst, two of the funniest people.
two of the funniest
planet.
people ever, and
So funny.
it was such a serious conversation.
It got all
We were
philosophical.
talking about philosophical. And we're talking your boy got married. I was talking about how do you know she's the one, and then
Yeah.
Dove put his dark side onto love.
He's
and
always got to put his dark side on
it's
everything.
super dark, and that was
Dove
weird.
Davidoff, the fight. If he's in your town, go see him because he's hilarious. He's one of the best comics. Period.
He's pretty funny.
He's just darkness though.
And then you did the Bruce Buffer podcast, right?
I did.
Let me tell you about Bruce Buffer. First of all, he also lives in our neck of the woods.
Yeah.
I'm with a friend, and I'm going to the beach. I have my shirt off. There's tons of people around, man.
Yeah.
This Mercedes comes flying up, and I hear, "Put a T-shirt on, bitch!" And then he slams the brakes, almost gets in an accident, and goes, "Hey, Shab, it's Bruce." Takes off.
That's it?
I was so embarrassed, man. I was like, Jesus, man.
Thanks for
fuck is
thanks
wrong
for
with
bringing
you?
all the
Yeah, I
attention
was like,
to me.
oh my god. He's great.
Didn't you
though.
take your shirt off like you were at a pool party in LA? You took your shirt off and you just heard a bunch of girls going, "Ew, he's so big,"
my
and you were like, "Oh no, I got to put my shirt on."
my first party in LA, they take me to this fancy place in the hills. A friend took me there. There's girls everywhere. There's a pool. And in Denver, if we have a pool party, people get in the water.
Yeah.
I was not aware in LA, you dress fancy,
Nobody
you sip
touches the
martinis,
water.
no one touches the food or water. And there's
so true.
white powder go around it, which I thought it was Smarties.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, being from Denver, I'm not familiar with these parties.
What's with all these lines here?
So I show up in swim trunks and a wife beater with a long chain with a bullet on it. I have tattoos everywhere.
How uncool.
I walk in.
How gauche.
I walk in and I can tell the whole vibe. Just like, are we gonna get robbed?
Who's the barbarian?
Are we gonna get robbed?
Who's the barbarian?
And I'm like, all right. And then I look over my buddy. I grab a beer. I'm like, this party needs to get started. cannonball. I jump in. I'm swimming. No one else, everyone else is like around the pool, like, you know, like it's a freaking the cool thing to do, be by the pool.
Of course.
I'm swimming around like a freaking seal in the water. I hear some girl go, oh my God, why is he so big? As soon as I heard that, granted I was the biggest guy by about 100 pounds. As soon as I heard that, got out of the water, grabbed a towel, put a shirt back on, and freaking chilled like the rest of the kids by the pool.
Damn right.
But then I ate up all the food. I ate up all the food. I've never heard from any of those friends ever again. Literally, they don't call me
But
anymore.
I wish you'd done like they did in a Bronx Tale where they lock the door of the club. They just lock.
Oh, and beat the shit out of
See,
everyone?
now you just can't leave.
Now you
can't leave.
Yeah.
And just eating all the food and then just taking your fill.
It was-
of the men and the women.
It was a weird vibe.
Some of you boys are gonna wear a blonde wig because Big Brown's in the house and he's got appetites and not just for food. Line them up.
I wish it went like that.
That's my own barbarian fantasy.
Needless to say, I've never been invited back. I've never talked to any of those girls again.
You're too much of a threat.
Too much of a threat.
You're the triple threat. Good storyteller. You got brown skin, big muscles.
And I like to eat food.
Yeah.
And apparently, pools are just for looks.
Yeah. You know what?
If you invite Big Brown, make sure you have music, you have coconut water, and your pool's nice and warm.
Really? Music?
And I'll take a
coconut water?
cappuccino when I'm done.
Thank you.
Keep your mouth shut
Do you know
while
what's
I'm
funny
swimming.
about being a straight guy? It's really hard to look at your straight friend and go, "You want to come over and do some swimming?
I don't see
You want to come over to the pool and?"
In Denver, that's normal.
Well,
in
you
LA.
send smiley faces to your friends, so you're a bit.
I don't
ambiguous,
trust anyone
sexually
who doesn't
ambiguous.
send emojis. I don't trust anyone. If
amazing.
you're too manly to send emoji, you need to question yourself.
Dude, I'm way too manly to send emoji.
That drives me nuts because I send you a smiley face, you don't send anything back.
No, I'll send you a middle finger.
I mean, I'll send a smiley
not that
face.
secure.
I'll send Leota Machida a smiley face.
Well,
I did this morning. I said, "Hey, I'll be at the gym." Smiley face.
If you're both doing that, then I might have to come over to your side.
You know what? He didn't send me one back.
Hey, dude, thanks for inviting me to train so I can watch you guys spar. When am I going to get? Do I ever get a front row seat to that or no? Or am I not allowed in the gym? Because
You know what?
I'm a civilian.
You're like me at these fancy parties. We really don't want you there.
Because I'm a little too.
We really don't want you there.
I'm a little too,
You're
like,
a little bit
eager.
of an outcast. You're a little. We don't want a super fan.
I'm just saying, I'm a little bit too much of a Superman.
Yeah.
I'll be cool.
We'll see.
I won't smile at all.
I don't want you to go up to, hey, Leota, what do you think of this kick? Or
I'm going to show him back kick.
you're showing a back kick?
Dude, I have something to say kicking wise. I'm a black belt in Taekwondo. I got something to say. When you let
see
me
how it
show you
goes.
once, you know what? It's amazing.
We'll see how it
it's
goes.
amazing.
We'll see how it goes.
I don't get into the gym. I'm actually personally offended. On that note, I'm going to end this, and I'm not doing another podcast with you until
you meet
next
Leota Machida?
Wednesday.
First of all, I'll have you meet Leota Machida.
Thank you. It's Leota.
You have to make 155.
You call him Lola? Lola Machida?
You have to make 155.
Not a problem. Do it with my eyes closed.
Oh, you're freaking out of your
Hey,
mind.
bro,
You wrestled
Joe Rogan,
30 years ago.
Hey, Joe Rogan
30 years ago.
lost $100 because he told me I couldn't do 20 perfect pull-ups, which I did
20
in a
pull-ups?
comedy club. I was like, what?
What?
So don't underestimate
20
the fact that I can
pull-ups?
suck weight
Wait
and
a
do
minute.
pull-ups for days.
20 pull-ups? Welcome to the club in 8th grade.
You know I'll do more
20
than you, right?
pull-ups.
You know I do more than you,
Not
right?
a chance.
What?
Pull-ups are my best thing.
Excuse me?
Ask anyone.
You know I do more than you.
Ask University of Colorado.
How many do you
My
do?
name might be on the plaque up there. How about you go up to Boulder and go up there and look at
Well,
it?
how about I don't? And I ask you how many you do right now.
47.
You do 47?
I did 47.
That's a bald-faced lie.
No.
You're lying on the fighter and the kid. Exposed as a liar. Great double leg and a big fat liar with a tiny head. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. That's how I'd like to end
No,
47.
we're not getting out of here till you sing us out. I'm
dude,
not going anywhere.
dude,
I will
with somebody-
lock the door. It ain't no one going nowhere till you sing us a
Now
song.
you just can't leave.
Now you can't leave.
Now
Please sing us a
now
song.
you just can't leave, he says. Brendan Schaub can do 47 pull-ups as long as somebody's got his hips. As long as somebody's helping him up with two flat hands to his ample and juicy rumpy-pumpy. Now you just can't leave. Now you just can't leave.